Hello everyone, and welcome to another review. Today I have a fragrance for you from the house of Maison Kurkdjian, known as Aqua Universalis Forte. Now before we get started, just want to comment that this is probably going to be a little bit longer than some of the other videos just because we had some people talk a little bit longer when describing the fragrance in my other people's opinion section. And also, I wanted to do a little bit of contrast with the other version of Aqua Universalis. For Aqua Universalis, they released a Cologne version or toilet version. So they have a normal Aqua Universalis and they have Aqua Universalis Forte, which is basically a concentrated or perfume version that has slightly modified notes, but it is basically Aqua Universalis in a more concentrated form. So with that, let's just dive right into the review. Here is the box of the fragrance. It's Maison Kurkdjian Paris, Aqua Universalis Forte, clean white box. Back has some writing on it. It has this little flap, and this actually slides off. It was a case that kind of slides off. Same thing that says Maison Kurkdjian Paris, and this actually slides open, and the fragrance would be inside here. So close that. This only comes in one size, in a 70 milliliter, and that will run you around $265. For the Cologne version, you can actually purchase two different sizes. A 70 milliliter, the Cologne version will run you $155, and a 240 milliliter for $205. So it's a lot cheaper just to buy the bigger version of the 240 milliliter, and you're going to get more bang for your buck as far as the normal Aqua Universalis goes. But as for Forte, which I have in front of here, here's the actual bottle. Sorry, you're gonna have a little bit trouble seeing this just because it's kind of weird, but let's go. Sorry, I hate these white labeled bottles. They're kind of hard to see on my camera, but either way, the cap is actually very nice on this. It's a zinc cap, even though it's painted gold, I believe. This pops off. It's a very sturdy, very heavy cap, and very simplistic bottle design other than that. So that's Aqua Universalis Forte. I have the Cologne version of this, and that's actually what got me started in a decant. If you saw one of my giveaway videos, you've seen that I've given away one of the other bottles of this one. But that's the presentation in a nutshell. The parfumé of this is Francis Kurkdjian. He actually is an under-the-radar parfumé who has been working behind the scenes for a long time. He used to work for Yves Saint Laurent, he worked for Armani, he worked for Versace, he worked for Dior, he worked for Jean Paul Gaultier. Narciso Rodriguez, I believe he also created. He created a lot of fragrances, or helped create a lot of fragrances that are behind the scene. Le Male, he worked on Le Male, he worked on Dior. A lot of those famous fragrances, Armani Mania, he's actually worked on. And he decided, why don't I just take a lot of these designs that I've gone ahead and made and create my own fragrance house. So he came out with his own exclusive line. Now this particular fragrance, Aqua Universalis Forte, or Aqua Universalis even, and this is a story that was actually told to me by Frank and the sales rep at MFK. Aqua Universalis Forte was actually supposed to be what not Universalis, sorry. I'm thinking of too many Aquas. Giorgio Armani Acqua di Gio. This was one of the concepts that was pitched forward to become Acqua di Gio. However, it lost out to it. I'm giving you an extremely shortened version of it. If you want the full story, go ahead, send Frankinator a message. He's another reviewer here on YouTube. But this was the one that lost out, and now he's actually released it as its own version. And personally, I like this better than Acqua di Gio, but we'll go ahead and get into that in a bit. Now, the notes that this consists of. At the top, this consists of bergamot and lemon. In the middle, it consists of jasmine and rose. And at the base, it consists of woods and musk. So you can kind of guess what you're going to smell with this. But it's the presentation and the way that they've actually mixed and concocted this that makes it unique. So what you're going to get immediately when you spray this is a very citrusy lemon type smell right off the bat, and quickly followed by florals. That rose and that jasmine immediately comes right after it and mixes with the citrus, and that's pretty much what you're going to get throughout the entire fragrance. You're going to get citrus and you're going to get florals into it. So it almost smells like very fresh, very clean. To me, it smells like linen, like fresh linens almost. And you get that scent throughout the entire duration of the fragrance. It's only until the fragrance has left your skin that you're going to start getting the woods and the musk. And even then, the woods and the musk, they don't have that citrusy smell to it or anything like that. It just smells like a very soft wood, and it's a very soft musk almost, not powerful at all. But the key of this fragrance is that clean, sharp, bright citrus that comes right at you, and the florals right behind it. That is the fragrance throughout the entire. As for sprays for this particular fragrance, I spray it anywhere between 4 and 6 sprays. Even though it is heavy, it does not project too well, which I'll actually get into in a bit. But yes, 4 to 6 sprays. I usually hit both here, hit the head, and then I hit the back of the neck. As for occasion, this is perfect for a casual type of a scent. It's perfect for just going out, doing your thing throughout the day. If you just need something to go ahead and spray on, it also works well for work because of that clean type of smell. The only reason why I don't really gravitate with this fragrance towards work is just because it has that floral hint, and there are those who do believe that florals aren't meant for men. I disagree. I think anyone could wear anything, but you might want to be careful if that is one of your sensitive areas. As far as projection and sillage goes, projection, not so good. It's not going to jump out and grab anyone, definitely, and it's only after passing them. The sillage on this, though, is excellent. The sillage, it leaves an excellent trail. People know you've been there. They know what they're smelling, but at the same time, while it does leave that excellent trail, doesn't project that well at all. So one of those unique fragrances that doesn't project but has excellent lasting power, or leaves an excellent trail or wake behind you. Longevity. This fragrance, especially for this, will last you a good 6 to 8 hours. That's how much it lasts on my skin. But once again, that's not including the dry down of this fragrance. I don't really even include the dry down of this fragrance, because once it starts to dry down is when it just goes off your skin and becomes that musk woods type smell. As far as season goes, for me, this is a summer fragrance and summer fragrance only. You can wear this in the spring and you can wear this in the fall as well, but I don't think it does as well. Because of the brightness of this fragrance, it makes it ideal for those hot situations, for those hot, humid summer days where you really just want something to perk you up. It's very revitalizing in that manner, and it really does kind of remind me of like a bright light. So if you want that extra invigoration, go ahead and give this scent a try. As far as age group goes, really any age group can wear it. The only thing that I might want to caution of is if you're a little bit older, maybe you might want to stay away from it if that's not the vibe that you're going for. But this fragrance, even though I personally love this fragrance, it did not get the same love from other people. So just want to show you real quickly what some people thought of this.
Greg Brown testing out this scent. I like it. It has a fresh out the shower feel, and I'm getting ready to go to the opera kind of feel to it. And I don't know how it smells as it goes on. It starts to lose its flavor the more and more I smell it. But the initial burst is quite pleasing. That's why I almost put it to my neck, but now I regret it because now it's starting to have a little too much of a floral hinge to it, which makes me feel a little feminine. I don't know how I feel about that, but I like the way it smells from the application, but over time, yeah, it leaves too much of a faint, feminine, like almost cinnamon-esque kind of smell to it. So,
letter grade?
Yeah, I'd have to pass.
Letter grade on it?
Letter grade, I would say overall, I'd say it's a B. It's a beautiful smell, but for man's purposes, I'd say it's a C.
It's clean. It's a little flowery, but not too flowery. Powdery, but not too powdery. It's more citrusy, which is what I like. And should I grade it now?
Yeah.
B plus.
Hello there. I was just sprayed with a perfume and, or I guess a men's cologne. To me, it smells more of a perfume. It's very, very powerful, very pungent smell. As it smells sweet as well. I'd say like some sort of, if you were to get really, really close to a rose or, sunflower, yes. Sort of fruity as well. I would suggest it mostly for women more than men. That's not to say it's a bad smell in any way, shape, or form. I like it. Actually, revision, it actually smells a lot like chrysanthemum. If anything else, definitely chrysanthemums. I'd give it a B plus for women and a C for men.
I like it. It's a little bit stronger than I would usually wear, but something about it is very familiar. I don't know what it is. It's definitely floral. I would buy this. I would try it. Definitely, I think, more feminine because of the florals, but I definitely, like I said, like it. Other than that, I don't know. What was the name of this one? Do we know?
Aqua Universalis Forte.
Interesting. But yeah, I definitely like the scent of this one.
Letter grade?
Letter grade would be, we'll give it a B.
Perfect. So you can see what they've thought of this fragrance, and it wasn't really too great. I mean, you had some, it smells good, but one of the overlying, factors from it, they said it smelled fresh. Floral was one of the very first things that came to their mind. Feminine was what some said. Very powerful, very bright is what they said as well. Very sweet. And some gave it different ratings for whether or not they would like to smell it on a guy or smell it on a girl. So it got a B, C, B plus, B. Sorry, I read that completely wrong. But it got a B from one person on a woman and a C on a guy from another one. It got a B plus on a woman and a C for a guy. And then for the other two ratings were a B plus and a B for it. So you can see the opinion of this on a guy is a little bit lower than it is for a woman, and that's primarily because of that jasmine and that rose that's in this particular fragrance. So just want to caution you of that fact from this fragrance. I kind of got the same feeling from other people around, just talking to not people that were on this video, but other people around, and they kind of gave me the same thing. Very pleasant smelling, but at the same time, not something that knocks everyone's socks off or anything like that. As far as actual ratings for this one goes, for scent, I'm going to give this one an A. I love this scent, and I'm giving it an A. I mean, regardless of whether or not it should be for a man or a woman, I think it's a very beautiful scent, very bright, very invigorating. And especially for a citrus aqua type fragrance, I think it really surpasses everything else that I've smelled, with the exception of possibly Bergamot 22. As far as projection goes, I give this one a solid C. Projection, it's not going to wow anyone. It's not a complete slacker, but it gets the job done with a solid C. Nothing more, nothing less. For sillage, it has good sillage. This one for sillage gets a B. Sillage, it's going to leave a nice little scent trail from you. In fact, when I sprayed this on another person who kind of wanted to smell the scent, she smelled it, went up to her cubicle and gave me a quick IM after she was done and was like, wow, I can still smell this trail. And one of my coworkers said they could smell a trail as I passed. So very good sillage. Not the best sillage, but solid B. For uniqueness, this one gets an A. Very unique fragrance. It remains bright and it remains powerful throughout the full time that it is. Again, once you spray it, after about 3-4 minutes, what you smell is what you're going to get, and you're going to get a very bright citrus floral fragrance throughout the whole time. Very unique in its staying power. In that in that radiance. It's very unique. I still have yet to come across a fragrance that's like this, a citrus that is shining like that for the entire duration. So for uniqueness, this one gets a solid A. For longevity, B+. Again, citrus scent that's lasting this long and projecting that far, solid B+. Longevity, it's going to last, for 6 to 8 hours with that kind of strength. To me is very impressive. For versatility, it gets a B- on this one. Versatility, you can't wear it to every situation, doesn't really do good for every situation, but enough, casual situations, possibly work. Solid B- for it. Might do well for other people in terms of the mix or variety that they can actually wear this one. For compliments, this one gets probably its worst rating, a C-. I was tempted to give it a D+. I have never received a compliment wearing this fragrance. I love the fragrance. It is, again, easily up there with one of my favorite fragrances, and probably you can expect to see this one in my top 10 for summer of 2012, but still, I haven't gotten a single compliment with this. The best thing that I've gotten is a "you smell good," but that wasn't a direct compliment, as more so it was we happened to be talking about smells and stuff like that at the time. But I haven't got any "you smell bad" or "you smell feminine" with it, but compliments, definitely a solid C-. For overall, what the overall rating is for this, I would give it is a B. I love the fragrance. Again, it's one of my favorite, but those of you who are looking for a fragrance, a summer fragrance, a high quality niche fragrance, it's definitely high quality, but because of those floral notes, it might turn some people off. I have no problem with the floral notes. I get along fine with it. Compliments wise, you're probably not going to fish out the most compliments with this fragrance, but if it's something that you enjoy, then by all means, I say wear it. So solid B. If you have any questions on this review, feel free, leave me a note, send me a message, do whatever you have to do. Thank you, and take care of yourselves. Good night.